This segment of Face to Face with Wondrous Women and the Wondrous Woman of the Year Awards are brought to you by TLS Graphics. A member of the Green Press Initiative, recycled and environmentally friendly papers are available for any project. We care as much about the environment as you do.
Welcome to Face with Wondrous Women. Our guest today is Theresa Morgan, one of my dearest friends, and I'm so delighted to share her with you. Theresa, thank you for joining us today.
I'm so excited to be here.
You know, one of the first questions I've been dying to ask you is, what makes your heart sing?
You know, that's a great question. You know, I think it's seeing the fulfillment of a person's hope. It could be anything from a young mother having a child.
Yeah.
You know, it's right in June, so there are a lot of graduations happening.
Yeah.
Kids are happy, parents are happy.
Right.
So I think it's just all of those things, and that can come at different parts and different times in your life.
What makes you happy?
Well, what makes me happy is just these kinds of things, having an opportunity to talk about things that are important to me. I think relationships.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so often you'd say, what makes my heart sing? I think the opposite of that is the thing that most saddens my heart, and that is to see someone who's lonely, doesn't have that valued relationship in their life. And so when I see that happen, if it's someone in a room that's just sitting beside themselves and you can just say hello, a smile comes on their face, that makes me happy. It's just those small things in life.
It is the little things, isn't it?
It really is.
You know, you were a single mom.
Yes.
And raised two beautiful girls.
Thank you.
So what did you learn about yourself, or what did you learn from the experience of raising those two girls, and was there anything that sort of surprised you?
Okay, that's a great question. One of the things I learned, first of all, you have to maintain your standards. I think overall children look for consistency in their life, even though they may go to different experiences, they come back and they want that steadfastness. They want to know that that standard is going to be there. So the first thing I learned is to keep that standard. You know, as a single mom, it's so easy to say, I'm just too tired to be standardized tonight.
I know.
And then to kind of let things go.
Yeah.
But the beauty of having a standard is that you see them kind of retreat to that even when they're adults.
That's interesting.
You know, it's like, for instance, my daughter and I were talking this morning. She made someone a promise. And she said, I really don't want to do this. And she said, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. It's like when you make a commitment, you have to follow through on it. I think the thing that surprised me is keeping that standard is that you do have to be flexible.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have their own personality, their own desires, their own hopes. And you have to give them an opportunity to fulfill those hopes. And if that's what makes my heart sing, and I want to see that joy in their life, then I have to be flexible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I've loved about working with you is all of our experience in the staffing industry. And, you know, you've routed that experience sort of in a different twist. Tell us what you're doing right now.
Well, you know, that's one of the things that surprised me is that these open doors, when you go back to flexibility. Consistently, I've been in the staffing industry. I love that. You know, I think you and I remember one of the trainings we were in, they said staffing is sort of being like in an emergency room. You kind of never know what's going to happen. And you either love it or you hate it. And so now that is kind of taken a full circle all those years, and I have an opportunity at Second Baptist Church where they're, you know, always looking to see how they can reach out and touch the needs of their congregation. And of course, during this economy, as you know, jobs and finding the right purpose is really paramount. And so they've kind of looked at that for a number of years, but kind of left it as a back burner kind of thing. And now they've really made more of a full-fledged commitment to saying this is one of those opportunities we want to really be able to reach out and do it professionally and do it in a way that's really going to help our members.
So tell me what you're doing with those folks and how do you feel about it?
Well, I'm excited about it because, again, it's the excitement of saying, if somebody had asked me 5 years ago, do you think you'd ever see yourself, you know, really doing this project at the church, I would have said, come on. And yet I had volunteered in a lot of instances to do seminars and workshops, helping people with resume writing, interviewing.
Yeah.
And now it's really become this project that is exciting for me. So I'm feeling good about it. It is a lot of work to do it. You know, you've been in situations where you've had to do something from the ground floor. And so, but again, it's exciting to see, because now I'm meeting a lot of people that really don't have that expertise that I bring to the table. So I'm helping them to really realize some of the opportunities that are still out there.
Tell us a story about one of the folks you've helped and how they felt about it.
Well, you know, it's surprising that a lot of people that I've met in the short time I've been there really don't have access to computers and technology.
Really?
Yeah, they've used the technology that's been provided at their work.
Oh, that makes sense.
And so now they're home, and they've really never made that investment. So one of the things I did is I went to the church and said, there's really a big void here, and we need to be able to provide that. And so they're looking to provide us sort of a center where people can come in and we can talk not only about how they do their resume, but we can get online and do their resume.
Right.
They can apply to different jobs, because as you know now, applications always start online.
They do, yeah.
And so if you don't have access to that, and certainly they can go to the library and some of the workforce commissions, but I think what a more comfortable place to be able to go to your place where you really worship and be able to say, you know, my church is really providing that for me. So that's exciting. You know, another exciting thing is that we have many retired members that are like, okay, I've got years of engineering experience, project management, and so they're saying, okay, what do I do now? And we love our husbands or whatever being at home, but a lot of the wives say, what can you help him do now? Or the husbands are saying the same thing.
They want to be about being a wondrous woman.
Right.
Yeah, get him a job, right?
And so we are starting what we're calling a ministry called Second Half.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, it's exciting because every pastor is really seeing where they can find a retired member who can come in and really be a leadership and add expertise in that area of ministry. It can be anything from recycling director to helping with some of the team camps and things like that.
Wonderful.
So that's another exciting part of this project that I'm doing.
Well, they couldn't have gotten a better person to lead the initiative, from my perspective anyway.
Well, thank you. See, that's why I always love being around you, because if I'm feeling bad, I can call you and say, oh, and you're like, okay.
I know, here we go. We're going to be right back with Face to Face with Wondrous Women. And when we come back, Theresa has some great advice for us.
I do.
This segment of Face to Face with Wondrous Women and the Wondrous Woman of the Year Awards are brought to you by TLS Graphics. A member of the Green Press Initiative, recycled and environmentally friendly papers are available for any project. We care as much about the environment as you do. And now back to Face with Wondrous Women.
We're back with Face to Face with Wondrous Women and Theresa Morgan, my dear friend. Theresa, when we left, I made a promise that you were going to give them some advice, so you're going to have to give it.
All right, well, I want to first thank you for that promise.
No problem. The question I have for you is, what do you tell folks that are looking for a job? What's a couple of things that are really important for them to know?
Well, one of the first things that I always tell people is to understand that when you're seeking a job, that is your full-time job.
Oh,
and
okay.
so you have to get up every single work day, and you have to have a plan, and you have to work that plan. You know, after you've tried looking for a job for a while, it can easily be discouraging. You can become depressed. But you have to be consistently looking. One of the other things is that in addition to what you're doing on your own, you have to network with other people. You know how important it is to be in contact with individuals. And a lot of times jobs that are great for you or the person aren't really even advertised.
That's true.
Because people know someone who knows someone who knows about an opportunity.
Right.
You know, and because I've been in that situation, you know, I have to tell people that when you're networking, be sure you're networking with the right group. You know, if you're networking with a group that they're just negative and they're like, well, this is a lot of...
no help there.
scratch. Don't waste your time. Go to a group that's really going to be uplifting, give you tools, give you leads, and also look and see how you can be helpful to the group. Not only are you receiving, but you also have something to give.
You know, I think that's a very good point, because I've gone to a lot of different events, and when someone says, "Now tell me how I can help you," it just changes the whole experience, because then you really feel like there's a connection.
Exactly, exactly. And you're really partnering with that person, and you're building a relationship. And we know people do things for people that they feel that they have a relationship with.
Absolutely. Is the program at Second Baptist for members only, or are other people able to take advantage of it?
Well, you know, when we really offer it, we do offer it to our members, but we certainly have people who contact us that don't know anything about the church. We want to invite them to come and see what we offer. And so they do have an opportunity to really meet and see some of the tools that we have.
Well, it sounds like it's a good outreach.
Yes, it really is. Because not only do we want to offer them the job program, but they may have children, and so there's opportunity for that, or teenagers, or even themselves. So we want them to come and visit the church also.
That's wonderful. You know, Theresa, I just love our relationship, and I love how we've been friends all these years and share even the same birthday.
Yes, that's right.
and so I am so delighted that you're a wondrous woman, and I'm able to share your story. But there are two young women in your life that you probably have spent a lot of time nurturing, your daughters. And what advice would you give them about living their life to the fullest?
Well, you know, that you have to be so careful, because you think, well, here are my daughters, and you know, you always think about your own life and think, okay, I don't want them doing that, but I'd love for them to do this.
Right.
And I think the greatest thing that I really hope that I've instilled in them is that I want them to live their passion.
Yeah.
You know, each person is created with a purpose and a talent and skills. And one of the saddest things is to come to the end of your career or the end of where you want to be and realize, oh, I didn't do that.
Right.
And so often I see people who really have their passion as kind of their hobby, because they've gotten into a lifestyle that they really can't afford to live their passion. And so I'm hoping that every time that I've recognized a passion in my daughters, I've thought, how can I help them develop that?
Right.
What kind of program, or who can I introduce them to? And so as I look on their life right now, they're doing that. And you know, both of my daughters are so totally different. One is just as creative. She's my oldest, and just kind of out there.
Right.
And so when bringing her up, I was like, oh my gosh. And so when Karen came along, who's my youngest, I thought, okay, I got to get her corralled in, and she's already structured, you know. And she goes, why are you doing that, Mom? But again, different personalities. And I think it happens when we work in the workplace. People are going to have different personalities, different work structure, different work habits, and we have to say, how can we take the best of what they offer and give them an opportunity to live their passion?
That's great advice. And I know the girls, and so I know that they're going to do great in life, and a lot of it has been because they have a wondrous woman for a mom.
Well, thank you. See, that's why I always like being around you, because I can now live and say to everybody, guess who you're talking to, a wondrous woman.
There you go. Thank you for joining us on Face to Face with Wondrous Woman. It was so nice to have you with us today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. But before we go, be sure and take a look at our website. It's on the show here, and see if you have a moment to recognize a wondrous woman in your life. Tell us all about her. We can't wait to meet her. Have a great week.
This segment of Face to Face with Wondrous Women and the Wondrous Woman of the Year Awards are brought to you by TLS Graphics. A member of the Green Press Initiative, recycled and environmentally friendly papers are available for any project. We care as much about the environment as you do.